I painted these two Leman Russ Vanquishers from the Horus Heresy range simultaneously for my Sparisian Revolutionaries, and it took me about 4 hours total painting time. You'll also see me make a massive screw up, and I'll show you an easy trick to rectify the issue that I had. So here's how to quickly paint tanks for Warhammer. And stick around to the end of the video for our first community showcase. Priming and base coating. It's been horrendously cold in the UK as of late, which is not great for rattle can priming. You can get all sorts of mottlyness over the miniatures as the paint freezes mid-air, creating this sort of mottled texture over your mini. I've opted to use this Pro Acryl airbrush primer, and I totally did not read the label where it said you do not need to add airbrush thinner, like a dope. This will come back to ruin my day later. My little compressor definitely needs an upgrade, as the actual PSI coming out of this isn't high enough for an airbrush primer, which is why I added the thinner. I tried before and it just seemed to get blocked and not flow through. Base color and stippling. With the base coat on, I mixed Abaddon black and Kantor blue at about a ratio of 1:1 and stippled it on using a large, slightly damp brush. I learned this stippling and dry brushing technique from Byron over at Artis Opus. Check out their channel if you haven't before. You need to use big flat brushes here and make sure it's a bit damp, using a bit of sponge with some water. I'm using the damping pad provided with the Artis Opus brushes, but if you're starting out, you don't need brushes this expensive. For a long time, I used these makeup brushes to do this sort of work, then worked up to these army painter brushes, and finally treated myself to the Artis Opus ones when I felt comfortable with my technique. I'm cleaning the brushes after every use. I use this, the Master's Brush Cleaner, and a dash of water, and then begin rubbing around to work it into the bristles and then rub it off on some paper towel. Rinse and repeat until the brush is clean. With that down, next I moved on to gradient highlight and dry brushing. I start by creating a gradient from about 1/3 of the way up, and I'm now just going to begin stippling on straight Kantor blue all over. With that done, we now need to highlight all of the texture. I'm going to mix Pallid witch flesh into Kantor blue at about 2:1 ratio, and then begin wicking most of the paint off of the brush onto my dry palette. You can just use a bit of card, I'm just being incredibly self-indulgent here. You can see on my knuckles that it's starting to get the texture that I want, and when it feels really like the faintest amount is coming off, I'm going to begin dry brushing all over the vehicles, and you begin to see that they really look like the details are now popping. With that stage done, I then moved on to detailing. I admit I probably should have part assembled the tank, but it'll be fine. I think the main principle here is just to give some spot accents over the model to break up some of the main color. 3 to 4 different colors should be good. If you look at a real world tank, they largely tend to be mostly one color with a few different spots. And I'm not feeling super flashy with this tank, I just want to keep it nice and simple. And obviously I'm not doing any camouflage here. Masking. I'm masking up the top of the turret and around the las cannon at the front of the carriage so I can quickly base coat it with my dry brush. I've done a mix of Pro Acryl Silver and Abaddon Black. I probably also could have used a more precise brush and not bothered with the masking, but whatever, the result still looks good. Leman Russes traditionally have some form of stripe on the front section of the tank track to denote unit and squadron, something I don't want to miss out on. So in order to get as clean straight line as possible, back to the masking tape. There are little rivets all over the tanks, and you can use these to line up and ensure that you get symmetrical lines on the tanks. Although looking at this footage now, I can see that that straight line was somewhat diagonal. I then use my dry brush to stipple on Khorne red, and then to highlight, I mix Wazdakka red into the Khorne red and go over it one more time. Final metal details now, coating with some Pro Acryl bronze on the piping and some of the detailing around the barrels. The other thing I need to do is the tank tracks, and do not do what I did here. Keep the tracks on the sprue and paint them up, so you don't need to do this masking tape fandango that I've done. I mix some black ink into my Pro Acryl Silver to create this really deep metallic black for the tracks. It was a good spurt of ink, but I have no idea what the ratio was. I was just looking for a black metal, so you'll need to judge this for yourself if you're doing this. It's looking great, so I now moved on to oil washing. With that done, you could leave it here and you'd be good. But I want to add a bit of gunk and grime, so I'm going to do an oil wash. I need to prep the model with an all over gloss varnish first, applying with my airbrush, but you can of course use rattle cans. Then I mix up my black and brown oils with some mineral spirits in a glass container. I'm using sand soda to create a really thin wash. It's about a 2-to-1 black to brown ratio. Let that rest overnight. Here is a lovely view of the sunrise over the weekend my partner got. The next day, come back and get some cotton buds. I've got these makeup ones, but they were actually a bit rubbish. I did move back onto classic cotton earbuds. And anyway, you can begin removing the excess oil. Just make sure you dab the cotton bud in some mineral spirit. I'm using sand soda again. It leaves a lovely bit of depth and darkness and helps the tank pop. However, here is where not reading the Pro Acryl bottle really comes back to ruin my day. No. I think mixing that airbrush thinner must have mixed with the primer's priming properties and not allowed it to settle on the model. And me just agitating it constantly with dry brushes and the like wore some of the paint and removed it. I'll just do a rattle can prime next time. Final touches. Once done, we need to hit it with a varnish again, this time matte varnish. And we are very nearly almost there. Just 2 quick details. Averland sunset yellow on the lamp and some red on this little targeting doolally on the turret. Oh, and I need to fix the wrecked bits. Block these in with some Rhinox hide, then cover them with some silver, and done. I'm super happy with how these have come out. I may return to them to do some decals and a bit of weathering, but for the moment these will do great whilst I figure out the rest of the look of the army. I know you're going to say, Grant, where's the tank person popping out of the top? And I will respond with, I'm still waiting for them to arrive, despite having ordered them nearly a month ago. So I'll get something made up when I paint up the infantry. Tabletop Profile. I've modeled them as vanquishers, as I love the super long cannon, but will probably run them as regular battle cannon Leman Russes. I could have put in the effort to magnetize them, but I often find that people don't really care as long as you're consistent across what you're fielding. The profile for the battle cannon is great. D6 plus 3 shots, hitting on 4s at strength 10 with an AP of -1 and flat 3 damage. It's a blast weapon as well, meaning that for every 5 models in a unit that is shooting at, it gains an additional 1 hit. This is just an excellent anti-elite infantry gun with some decent anti-armor capabilities. Basic Terminators hate this thing, and so do light tanks. You can also build out a number of other guns like the Demolisher Cannon or use it as the actual Vanquisher Cannon. But for the Sparisians, I'm just going to go with this being the local Forge Worlds model for battle cannons. Done. This is just the model on its own, and that's before adding all of the detachment and army rules. I'll let you know how I get on with them when I've managed to get a few games in. But for now, let's move on to our first community showcase. So all of these images are from people that are posting in the Discord community. There's been so much chat already. You can join via the link in the description. Thank you as well to everyone that has been watching the videos, has become a subscriber to the channel. I'm incredibly chuffed and a bit overwhelmed at like the responses that I've had already. It's been great. And sorry, I know you've probably been looking at this thing on my face the entire time. Yeah, I've just been suffering with a cold sore, and it's really annoying and it really hurts. But yeah, loving posting this as well. It's been great. It's been so much fun just working on all this stuff. And thank you. Stay and keep liking, keep commenting, subscribing, and all of that. And I'm trying to get videos out weekly at the moment, alongside doing my kind of full-time job. So it's a great challenge and it's really good fun. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for thank you. I'm just very chuffed right now. I'll see you next time.